Welcome back, students. Today we are going to solve some previous year questions related to human reproduction topic of Unit 6. Okay, so let's start. Question number 1. Given below are part of a sentence explaining parturition in jumbled order, and we have to rearrange them in a correct order. Okay, so uh, so they have given different sentences in 5 different parts, and we have to rearrange them. In A, they have mentioned that it is a process of parturition in human female completes as. In B, oxytocin act as stimulatory reflex between the uterine contraction and oxytocin secrete and continue. C, fetal ejection reflex in D leads to expulsion of the babies out of fetus, and E, release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary. So we have to choose the correct answer from the option below in these 4 options. So we have to arrange these sentences in a jumbled order, right? So you just take 5 to 10 second time. After then we will discuss the correct answer. Okay, now time up. So process of parturition in human female complete as. In obviously the first option, this A option comes or in the first position, right? So this one must comes on the first position, and then completes as this fetal ejection reflection occur. This is the first step. So this is at the second position. As this reflection occur, then automatically there is a release of oxytocin hormone from the maternal pituitary, and as this hormone release, it acts as a stimulatory reflex between uterine contraction and this oxytocin secretion continue. And at the last, so this comes at the fourth position, and as this contraction occur, then automatically expulsion of the baby out of the uterus occur, right? So this is the last step. So what is the first step? As parturition start, first oxytocin release from the maternal pituitary, and this oxytocin hormone acts as a stimulatory reflex. It provides a kind of reflection which start uterine contraction. As uterine contraction start, it will give the signal for the expulsion of the baby from the uterus of the mother. So A, then followed by C, then okay, so out of these 4 options, after A there is only one option, that is this third option. A followed by C, then E, okay, then B, and then D. Clear? Okay. Now next question, that is question number 2. Which is the secretory phase in the human menstruation cycle, also called? How long does it last? Okay, so they want to know the secretory phase. Is it lutein phase, 4 days, which occur for 4 days, or follicular phase, 4 days, follicular phase 14 days, or lutein phase 14 days? So we have to analyze which is the secretory phase in human menstruation cycle. You just take 5 second time, and after that we will discuss the correct answer. Okay, so this follicular phase is a phase in which follicles are formed, right, which is stimulated by follicle stimulating hormone, right, while this secretory phase is a phase which is also known as luteal phase, in which luteinizing hormone release. And what is the time span? It is 14 days longer, right? As menstruation cycle, what is the length? 3 to 5 days, right? Similarly, this lutein phase cycle time span is 14 days. Okay, not 4 days. So 14 days is the correct answer. So choice number 4 would be the correct answer of this question. Now we have to match these two lists, list number 1 and list number 2. Okay, so in list number 1, they have given over here some kind of structures which are present in different areas or different. We have discussed these things in different parts of this particular chapter, human reproduction. Like acrosome, it is a part of sperm. We know this. Corpus luteum. Corpus luteum will form during the ova development type, right? Leading cells, similarly hypothalamus, and we have to match these things with the with their corresponding hormones. Like in list 2, they have mentioned gonadotropic hormone, tropin, hyaluronidase, is estrogen, and testosterone. We have to correctly match the hormone with their respective location. Okay, so you just take 5 to 10 second time, and after that we will discuss the correct answer. Acrosome is present on the upper side or topmost side of the sperm. And what is the function of acrosome? Acrosome contains some kind of enzymes which actually help to penetrate it in the ova. So out of these, what is the enzyme? ACE, where there is a ACE, right? So hyaluronidase enzyme is present in the acrosome. So can I write down 2 over here? Yes. So A with 2. So we have nullify these two options, right? So out of 1 or 2, 1 is correct and 1 is not correct. Now next is a corpus luteum. Corpus luteum is mainly responsible for the secretion of estrogen hormone. So can I write down 3 over here? Yes. This gonadotropic hormone, gonadotropin hormone, is released by the hypothalamus, right? Where hypothalamus, and this hormone released by the hypothalamus, and this gives signal to the pituitary gland to release its further other hormones like FSH and luteinizing hormone, right? So this gonadotropin is released by the hypothalamus. So, and Leydig cells is mainly responsible to release the testosterone, right? So this is the correct sequence: 1 with 2, B with 3, C with 4, and D with 1. Okay, so choice number 2 would be the correct answer of this question. Now, the correct sequence of spermatogenetic stages leading to the formation of sperm in a mature human testes. Spermatogenetic stages. Okay. So spermatogonia, spermatocyte, spermatid, sperm, spermatid first, then spermatocyte, spermatogonia, sperm, spermatogonia, spermatid. We have correctly stepwise manner we have to mention it in out of 4 options, which is the correctly matched, correctly written on these particular terms. We have to choose that one. So just take 5 second time, and after that we will discuss the correct answer. Spermatogenetic stages. So what is the first stage, bachcho? First stage is spermatogonia. From spermatogonia, primary spermatocyte. From primary spermatocyte to secondary spermatocyte. Right. Then secondary spermatocyte to spermatid. And then we can say spermatozoa or sperm. This is the correct sequence. Right. So just check in which options this particular sequence is given in this out of these four options? Spermatogonia only 1 and 3. Okay, then after that spermatos. Okay, here they have mentioned spermatid, here spermatocyte. So obviously choice number 1 would be the correct answer, because from spermatogonia to spermatid, primary, then secondary, then spermatid, and then after that what is the last thing? Sperms, right? So this is the correct sequence. Choice number 1 would be the correct answer of this question. Next question. The human female, the ovarian cycle. In human female, the ovarian cycle begin when the level of estrogen reach in its minimum concentration. Second, hypothalamus stimulate the anterior pituitary to increase its output of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Third, level of progesterone remain constant. Fourth, hypothalamus increase its release of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Just take your time and then tell me the correct answer. So this ovarian cycle, time up now. Let's discuss the answer. As you know, this ovarian cycle is under the control of, up to a particular age, means puberty stage, right? And at this particular stage, 12 to 13 years, hypothalamus actually stimulate gonadotropin hormone, right? And these gonadotropin hormone further stimulate anterior pituitary for the release of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Further, these follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone affect that particular gonads, means male sex hormone and female sex hormone, to release their own hormone like estrogens and other hormones. So in fourth choice, they have mentioned hypothalamus increase its release of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. This one is wrong, because hypothalamus is not have any relation with these two hormones. These two hormone is released by anterior pituitary, right? Hypothalamus is only able to release gonadotropins. Level of progesterone remain constant. This is not at all related with this human female, right? Hypothalamus stimulate anterior pituitary gland, yes, with gonadotropin hormone to increase its own output of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, yes, because these hormones are secreted by anterior pituitary only. And further, these hormone target to the gonads, right? And then gonads start releasing their own hormone. And level of estrogen reach its minimum? No, this one is again wrong. This one, level of estrogen reach its minimum, is not related with the ovarian cycle, right? So according to this, choice number 2 would be the correct answer of this question. Clear? Okay, now next, question number 6. Consider the following spermatogenetic stages in human male. Okay, we have just now solved this kind of question. Again, they have given, okay, doesn't matter. Spermatogenetic stages, spermatid, spermatocyte, spermatogonia, spermatozoa, and we have to arrange them in a proper manner, in a correct manner, correct sequence, right? So take your 5-second time. You know this, what is the first stage? Already I told you. First stage is spermatogonia. This is the first type of cell, primary type of cell, right? And from spermatogonia, spermatocytes, primary, then secondary. Primary spermatocyte, mitotic division. Secondary spermatocyte, meiosis division. From spermatocyte to this spermatid, and then from spermatid to sperm or spermatozoa. So this must represent at the fourth position. So C position must be at the first position over here, and fourth position D. Okay, so choice number 2 would be the correct answer. Clear? Okay. Next question, question number 7. Which of the following statement are correct regarding female reproductive cycle? Regarding female reproductive cycle. In non-primate mammals, cyclic changes during reproduction are called ostrich cycle. Second, first menstruation cycle begin at puberty and is called menopause. C. Lack of menstruation may be indicative of pregnancy. Fourth, cyclic menstruation extend between menarche and menopause. And we have to, out of 4 options, we have to analyze which 1, 2 or 3 sentences are correct related to female reproductive system. So just take your time, 5 to 10 seconds. Okay. So in non-primates, mammals cyclic changes during reproduction are called ostrich cycle. This is the correct statement. Second, first menstruation cycle begin at puberty and is called menopause. Menopause is not the first menstruation cycle. This is the time where menstruation cycle stop. Okay, so this one is the wrong statement. Lack of menstruation cycle may be indicative of pregnancy. Correct. Because if ova is implant, that fetus is implant, then degradation of endometrium is not occur. Right. And fourth statement, cyclic menstruation extend between menarche and menopause. Yes, this one is again correct statement. So according to this, B is the wrong option. Rest 3, A, C and D are the correct options. So A, C and D, this is the third choice. These 3 options present in the third choice. So third choice would be the correct answer. Next, question number 8. At which stage of the life oogenesis process is initiated in human female? At puberty, at embryonic development stage, birth or adult? It's very important question. We have discussed this during theory time. Just take 5 to 10 second time. At which stage of the life the oogenesis process is initiated? Okay, so at the stages of life, oogenesis process initiated at the embryonic development stage. At the embryonic developmental stage. And till puberty, so many ovas are degenerated already. So many. So millions of ova are there. They have generated during this process, oogenesis process started during embryonic development stage. Okay. So choice number 2 would be the correct answer. Next, meiotic division of the secondary oocyte. Meiotic division occur in oocyte also, right? Primary and secondary. First polar body and second polar body is released, right? So this question is related to that particular topic. So meiotic division of the secondary oocyte completed at the time of copulation, after zygote formation, at the time of fusion of sperm with an ova, or prior to ovulation. Take 5 second time. Okay. So meiotic division of the secondary oocyte completed at the time of fusion of sperm, just before the fusion of sperm with an ova. Okay, so we can say at the time of fusion of sperm and ova, second polar body is released because of the meiotic division occur. Okay, so it is correct answer would be the choice number 3. Next, select the correct sequence for transport of sperm cell in male reproductive system. Okay, transport of sperm cell. So we have discussed this male reproductive system, and there are so many ducts are there, right? So we have to arrange all of that in a correct order. So for they have mentioned seminiferous tubules, then rita testes, then rita vasa efferentia, then epididymis, vasa deferens, ejaculatory duct, urethra, urethral meatus, then again seminiferous tubules, vasa efferentia, epididymis, inguinal canal, urethra. In third choice, testes, then epididymis, then vasa efferentia, vasa deferens, ejaculatory duct, inguinal canal, urethra, and urethral meatus, then testes, epididymis, vasa efferentia, rita testes, inguinal canal, and urethra. So if you know the structure of this particular thing, then very easily you can solve this type of question. So you just take 5 to 10 second time. After that we will discuss the correct answer. So if we know the site of the production of this sperm cell, then very easily we can um, solve this type of question. Where, what is the site where sperm is produced? Sperm is produced in the seminiferous tubules, right? In testes, seminiferous tubules. These are the coiled um, tubules which are present in the testes, and these seminiferous tubules further connected with the rita testes, and this rita testes further connected with the vasa efferentia, and then epididymis, from epididymis vasa deferens, then ejaculatory duct, right, then urethra, and then urethral meatus. Okay, so this is the correct passage. So in choice number 3 and 4 they have mentioned testes first, so this is not the correct position. And from testes to epididymis, no, seminiferous is the seminiferous tubules is the location where production of sperm occur, right? In this second choice, after just seminiferous tubules they have put it vasa efferentia, right? But this is not the first this seminiferous tubules is connected vasa efferentia via this rita testes. Okay, that's why choice number 1 would be the correct answer. Clear? Next question, question number 11. Extrusion of the second polar body from the egg nucleus occur after fertilization, before the entry of sperm into the ovum, simultaneously with first cleavage, or after the entry of sperm but before fertilization. Just now we have discussed same kind of question. Just take 5 to 10 second time. Extrusion of the second polar body from the egg nucleus occur. It occur after the entry of sperm but before fertilization, right? After the entry, before fusion. Okay, so at this time, not after fertilization, not simultaneously with the first cleavage, okay, and before the entry of sperm, no. After the entry of sperm, the second polar body is released from the egg nucleus. Clear? Next question, colostrum, the yellowish fluid secreted by the mother during the initial days of the lactation, is very essential to impart immunity in the newborn infant because it contains monocyte, macrophages, immunoglobulin A, natural killer cell. Very important question. Colostrum, which is a yellowish fluid. Take 10-second time. Why it is important? Why doctor suggest to feed newly born baby, mother's feed? Why? Because in the initial, especially during initial days, because that milk contain immunoglobulin A, which provide immunity to the newly born baby, because at the time of birth, newborn baby doesn't have its own immune system. So this immunoglobulin A is provided by the mother through her milk, and that is known as colostrum, which is a yellowish fluid. Okay, it is released with the milk during lactation time, and in this particular time milk contain immunoglobulin A. Okay, so that's why it is very important. So these are some questions which is related to human reproductive system topic of unit 6. I hope most of the things has been cleared now. Keep solving some more questions related to this topic. If you will find any kind of difficulty, any kind of doubt, please let me know. We will discuss it later on. Till then, take care, bye bye, and keep learning. Namaskar.